There are three major governor's races underway right now. Each offers a critical early test of Republican strength in advance of the 2020 presidential election. One of those races is tomorrow in Kentucky, where President Trump tonight is campaigning for the incumbent, Matt Bevin. William Brangham went to the Bluegrass State this weekend to see what's motivating voters in this very tight race.
Well, hello, Kentucky!
Ahead of the president's arrival, the vice president kicked off the final few days of the campaign, rallying supporters in rural Kentucky.
Once we reelect Governor Matt Bevin for 4 more years, we can make it clear we're going to reelect President Donald Trump for 4 more years.
The fact that President Trump and Vice President Pence felt the need to come here to rally supporters, to Kentucky, a state that Donald Trump won by 30 points in the last election, that is not a good sign for the GOP in this state. The incumbent, Republican Matt Bevin, is in a neck-and-neck race with this man, Kentucky's Attorney General, Democrat Andy Beshear. But at Friday's rally with the vice president and elsewhere, we heard a lot of confidence that Governor Bevin will win.
I support him wholeheartedly. I like his character, I like what he stands for, and I like the platform.
You're promising things for which you have zero plan to actually come up with the money.
And leadership.
You have none of the above.
The latest polling shows Bevin and Beshear in a virtual dead heat, which has turned this into a nasty and expensive campaign.
Socialists in Washington want to impeach Trump and take
ads supporting Bevin routinely link Beshear to events back in Washington, D.C.
Send the socialists a message. Defeat Andy Beshear.
We treat everyone with respect.
Beshear ads, on the other hand, tend to focus almost entirely on local issues.
He's tried to rip health care away from our families, and he's cutting public education. We can't take 4 more years. We're gonna make it happen.
That's right, we're going there. There's a few reasons why this race is so tight. One, Andy Beshear has strong name recognition. His dad, Steve Beshear, was Kentucky's last governor. But Governor Bevin has also hurt himself with some key groups in Kentucky. In 2018, teachers protested education and pension funding. Governor Bevin suggested that with schools closed because of the walkout, some children risked being sexually assaulted. He also called protesting teachers selfish and ignorant. It's all made Bevin one of the most unpopular incumbents in the nation.
This is about making sure they show up on Tuesday.
It's driven many teachers and other state employees to work hard to unseat Bevin. This gathering, largely made up of educators in the Lexington area, were getting ready to canvass voters for Andy Beshear.
They are trying to make it look like that, Andy is a socialist. Let me tell you, if you can find a socialist, a full, through the core socialist in the state of Kentucky, I will kiss your hind end.
These volunteers, mostly Democrats, but also a few Republicans, said there was a host of issues on their minds, ranging from clean water to corporate money and politics. Claire Batt is a Democrat. Denise Finley has been a lifelong Republican. Both are retired school teachers and longtime friends. And they spent much of Saturday trying to remind likely Beshear voters to turn out on Tuesday.
So you and your wife are both planning to vote?
Oh, yeah.
What do you guys think of as most at stake in this election?
Our children. Our children are, I'm not sure about the education of our children.
Both women say that if this race is fought on local issues, Beshear will win. But they worry that the enormously popular President Trump and the impeachment battle will energize Republicans to show up in droves for Bevin. If you could have told the Democratic Party in Washington, D.C., would you have liked them to say, hold off on this impeachment stuff for another week, let us have an election without stoking the fires?
In a sense, yes. And I sort of hate to say that because I think they have to follow the investigation and how it unrolls. I think it really has caused issues for us here in Kentucky because they use it. And that's why Trump is coming, too.
Some Republicans, like Mark Williams, a veteran and retired firefighter, agree that impeachment will fire up voters, but on both sides.
I see it as a political scam.
The impeachment process?
The impeachment process, yes. I think it's just a way to try to sway voters in 2020.
So do you think that that's going to have any impact on people's votes here?
Oh, I think it will, yes. Yes, especially the whole United States is sort of divided right now, and I think it will help give fuel to the other fire.
Williams has one of his neighborhood's only Matt Bevin signs in his front yard. He likes the governor and President Trump for a trait they both share.
I think more politicians should go with straight talk, simply because you can understand Matt Bevin. He'll tell you what he wants and how he wants it. You don't have to follow a riddle to get to the answer.
For Republicans, this race will test whether the president's popularity, combined with outrage over impeachment, is enough to push an unpopular incumbent across the finish line. For Democrats, they say this race is the ultimate test. If they can't win the state house under these conditions, it spells serious trouble for the party in 2020. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm William Brangham in Kentucky.